Hey, what's going on, team? It's Ricky with Floating Plan Profit. Hope you guys are all having a great start to the morning. I'm going to start sharing my screen so you guys can see exactly what it is that I'm looking at. It looks like DGAS just had a really nice push up. Looks like it hit highs of 1840 during pre-market hours. I'm going to set my resistance line right around that general area. Let's see. Let's check this out. I also want to check out one other thing on /NG. Where you at right here? All right, so based off of previous patterns, we built somewhat of a support around this general area of 2.58. MACD is a little bit on the oversold side. We're getting some consolidation, and we might start seeing a reversal of pattern. Let's see. Yeah, so go right on over here. So I'm going to go with, let me go ahead and move this on over. Looks like I'm missing out on my entry point. All right, well, there we go. Here we go. How are you guys all doing this morning? You guys having a good start, or how are you guys feeling? So natural gas had a pretty nice, decent sell-off. Margin of profit here, 1.5%. Gonna give it a little bit more time. Let's see. Sean, a little tired today. All right, so again, the MACD is in our favor. Our size decent. One of the things that I'm seeing with natural gas is that it's trying to make these as this general support here around 2.5 band. That's almost exactly where it touched at. But it's this last push that I find somewhat attractive that drove the price up above the middle VWAP. So we might start seeing a change of direction. But even if we end up just going back to the previous resistance, that's about almost 2% margin. So it's 30 degrees here. Oh my goodness, that's pretty cold. Let's see. What's going on, Chris? What's up? What's up? What's the correlating future for TQs and SQs /NQ? So it's the NASDAQ future. Thank you, Caesar. Appreciate it. There we go. Nice little push up. Got filled at an average purchase price of $28.39. Gonna wait for some sign of a confirmation or an uptrend, right? And then I'll add a little bit more to my position size. Love your video yesterday. I appreciate that. I have another exciting kind of like fun video for you guys today. So my second video for the day is already like filmed and edited and uploaded on YouTube. It's gonna be when Chris, our giveaway winner, that we flew out, kind of just like a little like day in life of him with us, or more like of a vlog. So you'll see kind of just like him hanging out with the team, different things that we do and stuff like that. Do you put your Pop-Tart in the toaster? I don't know. I like that, Chris. Nice. Hey, what's going on, Tristan? What's up? What's up? How many people do we have tuning in for the first time this week? What's up, Slick Clerk? What's going on, Jake? What's up? I appreciate that, Craig. Thank you. What's going on, Billy the Kid? What's up? I like it. So, what is it? Tosterium? Joshua V. Brandon. Nice. Every day. I like it. Welcome to the team. Welcome to. What's going on, Joel? Yep. What's going on, Russell? All right. Brian, super happy to hear that. Here we go, pulling back. Here we go, 28.24, 28.20, 28.15. Wow, it's a pretty solid sell-off. So I like the idea that the SMA line was descending, but because it began to consolidate here for some time, do you see the overall angle and direction of the SMA line? It's almost starting to show signs of a, like flatlining, which then with time can reverse right back up. So I thought that based off of previous patterns, especially based off of how it performed yesterday, if natural gas could just get back up to like the 2.68 or something like that, that could be a really nice little margin to recover, especially with the push that it had almost right before market close. So I'm just going to give it a little bit more time. As long as it doesn't continue to make lower lows or lower highs, then I'm all good. And that's why I took a partial position size and not anything too aggressive. What's going on, Sergio? Oh, I see you changed your cover picture. Nice. Nice little push up. UWT pushing up. Yeah. So UWT, DWT. So really nice push up based off previous patterns. Let's just make sure. Let's look at the 5-day, 5-minute chart. Based off of previous patterns, so it's been showing signs of an uptrend. It's been reacting really nicely to the SMA line on the 5-minute chart, even as a resistance and stuff like that. As it gets closer to that $14 price point, it becomes a little bit of a less of a good deal. Obviously, yes, it can continue to uptrend, but based off of previous patterns, this is really where the resistance has been. So let's just make sure that we take that into consideration and we understand where it's at, what's a good deal, as it did pull back quite a bit yesterday. So if you could expect a pullback, I would say it's closer to that $14 area. See. How did you guys feel about I was mainly trading natural gas and then just watching it after. How did you guys feel about natural gas? I felt like it's been moving a lot slower than it has been before. I don't know how you guys feel, but I feel like at market open, obviously due to volatility, it performs well. But throughout the day, especially yesterday, I just felt like there was so much consolidation and not enough action. It honestly, I just was following up with the charts from time to time, but ultimately didn't see much value or much margin to trade too aggressively. Yeah, I agree, Chris. Waiting for the big push up. Yeah, we're getting a lot of consolidation right now. No, it didn't freeze. I was just reading some of the different messages coming through. I should have held DGAS from Monday. I wouldn't essentially say that. I feel like the progression, I don't know how you guys feel about this, but the progression at the rate that like UGAS or DGAS, like for DGAS has been pushing up, has really slowed down. And the rate that you get, like UGAS and DGAS, I feel like as of right now, have been consolidating quite some bit. Um, so it's been trying to push up, it's been trying to push down, and again it consolidates, right? And then it makes sense on why it could push up. So I've kind of been playing it and then trying to identify a pattern, but it's just too much consolidation and a lot of volatility, as in like the changes between the day and what happens during, extended hours and stuff like that. So that's super cool, Colby. That's a good amount of people. Check this out on natural gas. Look at the MACD and how it's become like inconsistent, right? So now we're just getting too much consolidation. It hasn't picked a side yet. So I'm super happy to hear that. Thank you. Daniel. Ricky, you always lose money whenever I see you trading. Maybe you should stop watching me trade. I don't know how long you've been part of Lone Pine Profit, but I can't say. I don't know if you watched me trade live yesterday or anything like that, but can't say that I've been losing too consistently. Last week was definitely not the best. The blind trading challenge got to me, but my goodness, that's huge, Billy. What's I like that, Mohammed. I see. Nice, Gustavo. Yeah. So I'd say we're trying to get above the EMA and the SMA, right? What are your thoughts about the quality of blind trading challenge? I think that it could implement like a series of good best practices. Um, if you're like just struggling to stay green, I think that, or managing risk, I think that it could be very beneficial in that aspect. But because I have usually like more of an aggressive goal per day, I'm not under the PDT rules, so I could tend to recover from like red days back to green. Um, that it almost becomes like it's more difficult for me because I'm unaware of how much it is that I'm down or up. Um, and if I'm down, I'm not aware of it, so I can't trade to recover and stuff like that. Or if I'm close to like my $1,000 goal and stuff like that, then it's harder for me to like. I'll be less likely to continue to want to trade as I'm unaware of where it is that I am for the day. Can you check AMD? Of course. There we go. 20-day 1 hour, a lot of consolidation around the SMA line. So let's check this out. Okay. Based off previous patterns, again, looking at old support levels, looking at old resistance levels and stuff like that. I used to trade AMD all the time. I felt like the patterns started to become less consistent. The only thing that I see somewhat consistent is the SMA line, that it sometimes acts as a resistance or a support. So that's really all I could go off of. Based off previous patterns, it would not make sense that this is a good deal by any sort. So I'd wait for somewhat of a pullback. But it's also consolidating here for so long that the MACD already started to reverse. So it potentially can push up. So I'll set my alert for the break above 24, and then I'll set my alert for the break below 22. I think someone brought up the idea of TNDM and what were my thoughts. We talked about this one yesterday and how overbought it was. Yes, it was showing signs of an uptrend, but it also became so overextended. You could see that with the RSI and the MACD, and it makes sense on why it can pull back, especially based off of previous patterns. Just being honest with yourself, it makes sense on why it is overbought and not essentially a good deal. So yes, it can possibly continue to uptrend, but probably doesn't have much margin left. So overall, greater good. It's just like probably best to just lock in profits and stay away. Here we go. Did you dump you guys, or are you still in? I'm still in. I'm down about 8 cents per share. But I like the consolidation that we're doing as of right now. And I'll manage my risk at 1%, which is about $100. How important is support and resistance lines for you? So, they're important, right? So when it comes down to like technical analysis, what's more important for me are like general areas of, what's viewed as somewhat of a good deal and what's viewed as something that's a little bit more on the oversold side. So I think like the overall patterns and directions and understanding that you're getting a good deal is much more important to me, as long as it stays true to that pattern. So yeah, I feel like that would be much more relevant than a specific price point for support or resistance. So yeah, JDST doing a lot of consolidation. So we could look at the 5-day, 5-minute chart. And I feel like the progression at the rate that J9 has been pushing up, isn't too crazy as of right now. Kind of like natural gas, it's been kind of just offering this horizontal pattern. Right now, gold is a little bit more on the overbought side. It'll probably pull back to around that 312 area. And then we'll see that correlation with JNEG and stuff like that. Same thing going on here, where it's a little bit on the overbought side. It'll pull back to around 1020, around that general area, and then push right back up, as long as it stays true to that pattern. So on the 180-day chart, yes, it is pushing up. It's just doing a lot of consolidation right now. So it can consolidate and then maybe break its pattern and begin to uptrend or begin to pull back. So we'll have to kind of wait and see on what happens. So we'll set our alerts there. Looks like I already have my alert set for /GC. What's on the agenda today? What was it? Oh, I have a lot of calls with, no, not a lot, like 2 to 3 calls with, I don't even know how to say it, just different people that we're potentially going to be working with a couple different companies that we have and stuff like that. So, yeah, nothing crazy. It's just like a series of different influencers that reached out to us that want to work with us. So nice movement here. Yep, I like it. So Matt Daughtry. That's actually something that I talked to. Remember, I don't know if you guys remember. It might have been yesterday or 2 days ago. I think it was actually yesterday in the live stream where we talked about the idea of being able to invest in like people's like businesses that are part of Learn Plan Profit that are already doing well and converting well, but just maybe need more capital or access to our resources. So we're now creating a website that will allow people to submit their applications, and then we'll review it, and then we have to build a team all around that. So I can't say that that's what TechBuds is turning into, but we would love to. The idea that we kind of have in mind, and again, this is just an idea, so it doesn't mean that it's going to happen. But that once a month, instead of giving away just $500 or $1,000 to a random, Learn Plan Profit member, that we encourage and try to empower people to start a business in which that if it ends up catching somewhat traction and it only needs a little bit more capital or just needs more capital in general to continue to fuel it, that we'll fund it and then partner up with you, and we'll start with $1,000 and then we can scale up from there. So I just feel like it would act more as of an incentive rather than just giving away $1,000, which can be very meaningless, to much more of a, trying to empower you to do something. And then a lot of people will, do well with that. And if you end up doing well and we can help out and work with you, then great. But yeah. Here we go. So we just pushed above 2840. But yeah, it's just an idea, so you guys can't hold me to that as of right now. I just know that that's something that I would like to explore. Maybe we'll try it out for 1 or 2 months and then kind of go from there. The incubator sounds awesome. Yeah. Thank you. I think it'd be pretty sweet. I don't think a lot of people are doing that where, whether, there's just in the general aspect, people like, especially with YouTube channels, will just like give away money and stuff like that. And we're all for that as well. But I feel like there would be so much more value in, we have experience in, our startups and stuff like that as well. So why not just work with our team members, and why just be limited to trading when that's not the only thing that we do? So it doesn't mean that we're going to be taking on random people. There's still like an application process where we'll review your case and make sure that you're already like at a point that would be of value to us. An actual partnership, right? We talked about complementing one another. So if you have a strong business but just need more capital, then, with a good idea and with more capital and resources, that could be a good partnership. And then with like the TechBuds HQ and stuff like that, having an in-person location, I think that would just make it just a little bit better. Weston's also back in town. So we're going to be setting up the structure for the free Q&A for Flipping Wheels. So we have a good amount of people that are saving their spots for that. And that's pretty exciting. Yeah. I've honestly been so drained the past, I don't know if you guys saw how active we were yesterday and the day before and then the day before that. But I don't know why, but we've been like really drained with messages and just like questions and people tagging us and stuff like that, or tagging me. So been trying to be as active as I could while still trying to get like my work done, right? Yep, that's right, Nelson. What's going on, Chris? What's up? What's going on, Jacob? There we go. So happy to hear that. Thank you. Yeah, I just bought more just a couple minutes ago when it was pushing up. Would you consider startups in Europe too? Yeah, ideally the type of startups that we're looking at are more for, there's a lot of people that do very well with like Facebook ads and some form of like affiliate marketing or just like social media marketing in general. And if you have a series of clients that are converting decently, or for a series of stores that you might have that are converting well, you guys might be making like $100 a day, $200 a day. One of the things that I like to do is to partner up with people that have successful stores and just boost up your ad spend. So instead of spending maybe like $100 a day, I could boost it up to $500 a day or $1,000 a day, depending on how it converts. So we have a whole team that will review your your store, or making sure that you're converting at an attractive rate that as we spend more that it will convert as well. So, and I think it could also make for a good video series and stuff like that within YouTube, for my channel, but also like TechBuds Lifestyle, stuff like that. Yeah, so McKay, as of right now, we're creating the page for people to submit their applications. Here we go, nice little push up. Also, another thing that I wanted to explore personally, but for TechBuds, is anytime that like we have like aspiring real estate agents or real estate investors that find like good investment opportunities, that if you guys find a deal that will do like a rev split, kind of like other investors did with me, but now for me to be able to like do that, I don't want to call it like giving back because I'm still partnering up with you, but just to find a bunch of like deal hunters, and then we validate the deal, and if so, then we'll invest in it and stuff like that. So I think that's something that could be pretty exciting and can like empower a lot of people just to focus on good deals and let us worry about the capital. I like that. Yeah. Right now, Michael, people aren't submitting applications for anything. It was more of the idea that we want to open up an outlet for Learn Plan Profit members to submit their, not business ideas, but their current businesses that are doing well now, but maybe with more capital or the resources that we have available, to choose to want to partner up with us and stuff like that. So, but as of right now, there's nothing. I'm gonna have to. We're still putting it together, and it's still like something that we're trying to see if we want to take on, just because we always have a couple different projects. I'm a realtor, and that works with investors. Yep, I like that. So check this out right now. MACD becoming a little bit more of the progression at the rate that it's going up, becoming a little bit more on the overextended side. Same thing with the RSI. It makes sense around why in this general area. It might be ideal to sell. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put my limit order there and see what happens. Actually, yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and sell. So I sold at 61. We'll see if it continues to uptrend, then I'll add more to my position size. But I actually wanted to talk to you. I wanted to make a video about this on YouTube as well. Oh, sweet. That's super sweet. Yeah, trampoline parks around Arizona are pretty popular, especially where there's like a lot of families and stuff like that. One of the things that I wanted to look into an opening, especially in Gilbert, is like a go-kart area, like a go-kart park. There's like K1 speed and stuff like that, but I don't know how much it would be to open one up. But I also have access to like a bunch of other investors that are all for trying to put new things together as long as it makes sense. Let's see. Yeah. As of right now, yeah. We'll talk about more of like the investing things a little bit later as time goes on. Right now it's kind of more of just ideas, and I love how we're going back and forth with brainstorming and stuff like that. So just be sure, like if I tag everyone or something like that in the announcement section, I can't say that it's going to be anytime soon, but I'll keep you guys up to date with what we decide to do with accepting applications or not or stuff like that. So yeah. One of the things that I wanted to talk about, I don't know how you guys feel about this, but I almost like did it again. There's been times, and this is what I wanted to share with you. I can see where people are buying. I can see where people are selling with my level 2 and the bid and the ask, right? Makes perfect sense. All of you guys should be aware of that. Everything above like 2860, based off of the patterns that we were seeing during pre-market hours, right? That's a little bit more on the overbought side. So this is a target sell area. It consolidated here, did a nice job, pushed up, great. A little bit over 1%, nothing crazy, makes sense. One of the things that I've seen that I've made a mistake on, and I don't know if any of you guys can relate to this, but when it comes down to like my exit point, I'm sometimes so focused to like when I see one of the candles hit highs of like 2869, I'll either try to put my sell at 2870 or 2866, when in reality like it's at 2862 or 2863, and that's where people are buying. And it's like the extra like 2 to 3 cents, in all honesty, isn't going to matter. And I'm already like at a point where it's overbought, overextended, and it's at a critical point where it can begin to pull back. And then you'll slowly, just like in my experience, see that it begins to sell off, and then you'll slowly lower your limit sell every single time, and then by the time that you actually sell it, it's already below the EMA line and below where you could have sold it originally, when you saw that it was peaking out already. So one of the things that chasing the sell, one of the things that I just find to be so much more efficient, and again, correct me if I'm wrong, and this is just something that I wanted to share with you, again, very simple best practice, is to identify is something overbought. Again, I didn't care about my P&L. I knew that if I was looking at it and I was relatively close to maybe like $150 or $200, I might be trying to chase the dollar value. But when it comes down to like, seeing the pattern, seeing based off previous patterns, looking at the RSI, looking at the MACD, that it's a little bit on the overextended side, it makes sense on why it can, pull back. And because of that, I just should have sold. And me being able to see between the bid and the ask, if I want to sell at market price or if I want to sell at the bid, then just to get out of it right away, to lock in profits, be efficient, and then not have to have that kind of like idea in the back of my head that, man, I want to get out at like an extra 3 cents or something like that. It just becomes so much more self-sufficient. So I'm going to try this right now. Let me see how this is doing. Yeah. So I'll take a position size here. We'll see if we get filled, but there we go. Okay. All right, just wanted to share that with you guys. We'll see how this one ends up playing out. I'm going to set my alert here. Let me have an idea in mind. So I got filled at 115.68. So one of the things that I was doing, that I began to do during blind trading, is just try to calculate where a 1% loss is at, just to make sure that I always keep that in mind. So I got it right here, right? That's a 1% loss. I'm just going to right click and then create alert and create an alert when it goes at or below, just so I'm reminded like, hey, I'm at my 1% mark, probably time to cut losses and stuff like that. So all right, guys, it's 8:12 if I'm not mistaken. We've been live for about 36 minutes. And so Tristan, yeah, it sounds like that worked. Hopefully my example can work well for you and stuff like that. You should do a video streamed outside by the pool. Sandra, that'd be funny. Maybe once the pool's not so cold, that would be something to explore. But yeah, I mean, that's really just it. We kept it really simple today, and nothing too crazy going on right now. It looks like DGAS is pulling back a little bit, just broke down below the EMA line, and natural gas is going to try to push up. I'm really excited to see how natural gas performs, in the idea that is it going to begin to push up above the middle VWAP and start to uptrend and recover? Because yesterday it had a resistance at 2.69 was the resistance for natural gas. So I think that that's a large enough margin of profit that if natural gas does begin to uptrend, you guys can have an absolute huge day, right? Or if it just begins to consolidate again, I see it most likely trading like around the anything above 2.55, which is still a decent margin, but I think it would be really cool to see you guys push up, just because it's been so, not boring, but like DGAS pushes up during aftermarket hours and during extended hours and after like market close, and I don't hold anything overnight. So it's just been very boring for me, because when the market does end up opening, there's like nothing left. It's just consolidating and then changing directions, and I'm just over here like, so I'll continue to look out. If I see that natural gas isn't moving enough, I'm going to have to maybe move my attention on over to something that's a little bit more volatile, more active as of right now, or just not trade at all. So we'll kind of go from there. So yeah, I mean, that's really just it. So I hope you guys learned something new in this video. Thank you guys again for spending about 40 minutes with me and stuff like that. So hope you guys have an amazing rest of your Wednesday. Have fun, learn something new, make someone smile today. We have a bunch of people within our Learn Plan Profit group that are joining every single day. Again, you can be someone that can act as a positive catalyst for their success. So feel free to share your insight. And again, even if you're someone that just got started a week ago, feel free to share what it is that you are learning. If someone is bringing you down or subjugating you in any way, bring it up to me. Again, I don't care if they're like the best trader within our group. If they're not here uplifting you and empowering you, then they shouldn't be part of Learn Plan Profit. So I also do want to remind you that if you guys get any messages from natural gas just broke below, nice. So if you guys get any messages from any members within Learn Plan Profit, regardless of what the case may be, if you guys could just let us know. No one should be sharing any like group chat links or anything like that. Or if you get messages of people like trying to subjugate you and tell you that you can't say anything, please just let me know. Again, being a part of the Discord chat and being able to watch me trade live is a privilege. You can have access to the course, but if you don't treat others with respect, then it just doesn't make much sense to have you as a part of the team, right? So thank you guys again for your time. Wish you guys an amazing rest of your Wednesday. And like always, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note.